COVID's effect on competitive League of Legends.
League of Legends is a MOBA. It's pretty much a team-based game where it's 5v5. Some facts about it: it's one of the, if not the most played game in the entire world since 2012. And some more details, general details about it is in 2017, the winner of the Worlds tournament team received a $100 million check, and Riot as a company sold $2 million worth of sales on a limited time skin for that event. COVID's regional effect on, COVID had an effect on every region. In general, most hours watched on streaming platforms increased. Virtual attendance increased, but in-person event audiences decreased because most either became audience-less, where just the team was in the arena, or they became completely wireless online.
League of Legends has 2 international tournaments a year, being MSI and the World Championship. And in 2020, MSI was canceled due to COVID, and it was canceled on April 23rd. And the World Championship for 2020 was held in Shanghai, but fans were only able to attend the grand finals, and they had to wear a mask and pass a temperature test. And for MSI in 2021, it was held in Reykjavik, Iceland, and Vietnam's representative could not attend due to the travel restrictions, and no fans were allowed to attend in person. And for the World Championship in 2021, it was originally planned to be held in China, but it was moved back to Reykjavik, Iceland. And again, no teams from Vietnam were able to compete, and no fans were able to attend in person.
The atmosphere and settings that players compete in can have a big effect on competitiveness and level of play. When there's no separation from the practice environment and where they compete, it can be difficult for players to get in the right mindset. Everything from the computer setup to the general atmosphere feels different for the players. Not to mention that some organizations do not have access to compounds, meaning all 5 players have to play from home in different rooms, which is not help when you're trying to play on a team. This also means that some teams may have gotten a slight advantage from being able to play in a studio. And even when the teams are back in the studio, not having fans takes away from much of the excitement, though some of the fans may be a little more nervous when playing on stage when compared to at home, especially for the younger players who have not played on stage before.
So the spring playoffs has seen a somewhat return to normalcy for League of Legends. The League Championship Korea has suffered several matches being forfeit due to COVID positive players. New guidelines have been introduced to allow COVID positive players to play remotely, and this has cut down on those forfeits greatly. The League European Championship had their finals hosted in Berlin. They allowed an in-person audience with a limited number of fans and masks being required. And the League Championship Series North America had their audience return, but they required a proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test in the last 48 hours, and masks were required.
Remote versus in person. Riot decided to move all regions to online during the 2021 because of the outbreak. Centurion talks about how he misses the fans cheering for the team. So while he mentioned that the team must stay at home to play during the pandemic, he doesn't really feel like it's a competitive match. Fewer no fans can attend. My perspective, I believe a league is held remotely can be fun, but also can be boring because you are not getting the full experience as in person. While being in person, players feel more competitive. More fans equals more attention to the game. While fans are in person, they can support their favorite team. Fans may get to see their favorite league character in cosplay where they can't remotely.
Looking at COVID's effect on the future of competitive League of Legends, MSI, which is League's second largest international event, begins in about a month. It will be hosted in South Korea with plans for fans in attendance. However, this is not all good news because the team being sent by China's league may not be able to attend due to COVID regulations in China, though they may be able to compete remotely. The largest international tournament, Worlds, is set to take place this fall, which will be hosted in North America and plans to allow fans. It will be interesting to see how the location of these events affects COVID protocol and which regions can and cannot attend. We all love to see players competing in person with fans in attendance, so hopefully COVID's impact on esports continues to decline.